Welcome back to this week's episode of Take That Depression, the Project CC arc. We got video this week, but before we get into all that, I'm Kyler. That's Spencer.
Hello.
How are you doing this week, Spencer?
I'm doing really good. I'm really excited for our technically second video episode.
Yeah,
I think this is going to go a lot better than our first. I
yeah,
feel like we've learned how to kind of communicate a little better, shook off the shyness a little bit, so
yeah.
I think this will be a lot better. Not perfect,
No, definitely not
but
perfect.
better.
I
Yeah.
also, the ladybug from the first video episode will not be making a return appearance in this one. Um,
Big sad.
Yeah, big sad. Yeah, he's off doing bigger and better things. He's like, I can't hang out with you guys anymore. Like, I'm in major motion pictures now. There's
I
no,
can respect that. We're
yeah,
kind of bottom of the barrel right now,
yeah,
but maybe someday we can do a collab.
yeah. Eventually, bring him back for his second appearance on the TTD podcast. No, I'm excited to be doing video. I think that hopefully this setup will work. We've been kind of trying to change and adapt and grow, and this has been a thing for me that I wanted to get to a spot where we didn't have to group up if we didn't need to. Um, so hopefully this will prove useful. And I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully you guys will see this. I think we're gonna get to a point, hopefully, where it'll be fine and we can ship it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. That being said, this week um, we've talked a lot about characters, how many characters we want as our main little group, whatever. So I think this week we are just gonna riff on different types of characters, kind of different archetypes, and see how, if any of them strike our fancy. Because if we have any that strike our fancy, then we can just put them into spot in the main three. Um, so Spencer, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna pass the baton to you first.
Grabbing it.
I know you weren't expecting it, but here it is. What's an archetype of character that you like to see?
I I kind of like, well, let me take a step back. I'm not really into like the right off the bat, I'm the hero, I'm the best, whatever. Um I kind of like a little bit of realism to there.
Mm-hmm.
I like a little bit of those self-doubts and kind of, you know, um kind of not sure of themselves.
Yeah,
I like that, rags to riches type style. Um, Throughout the story, gaining a little more confidence as they go on.
yeah.
But
Deku
to
comes to
start,
mind.
yeah, to start off a story just like I'm the best and I'm gonna prove it. It's like you
Yeah,
and every other anime character out there, buddy.
yeah, yeah. Deku definitely comes to mind, where he didn't have a quirk starting out, and then it's him learning how to do it, and then he becomes heroic.
I like
Um,
that. That's a real good example.
yeah, um, yeah. I like. That's a fun character. Again, like you said, if you just come out the gate with a hero complex, it's like, yeah, buddy, you and every other main character ever. Um, I think a character that I like um, is the like grounded, strong, feminine role that like subverts the old patriarchal women are emotional, blah blah blah, and it's just like super logical thinking, logic forward, um, but in
Team captain type.
yeah, in the feminine frame, because I think we've talked about my subversion of expectations, enjoyment, and that's what it is, especially in um, like older society, patriarchal stuff. Is that's not the case. It's like women are there to be protected. So to have the woman be that kind of like protector, the logical, um, I really enjoy that type of character.
That was a good breakdown. I really like that.
No,
I also enjoy that.
you.
I also um I like a kind of a comical character. I
Mhm.
like a character that can be like, I don't know if comic relief is the word, but I like having that like light sense of humor and all that in a dark situation where
Yeah.
it's not like this anime or story turns out to be like comedy where it kind of derails it. I know some things like I don't know, Naruto, for example, will do some like goofy stuff in between. Then I feel like it kind of like throws off the story in a little bit.
Okay.
Don't hate on me for that. That's just my feelings.
Yeah.
But I can't remember her character name. But there's a girl in Attack on Titan, and it's obviously, if you've seen Attack on Titan, you know it's a serious, pretty dark anime.
Mhm.
But she like just is obsessed with eating food and just like does ridiculous stuff whenever it comes to food. And it's like kind of lighthearted, but it's not over the top where it's like, why did you put that in there? That doesn't really make sense, but
Yeah.
it's just goofy enough that it fits.
Yeah. The bad example for the specific thing, but like Sokka from Avatar: Last Airbender. Um,
Yeah, I can. Yep.
he is too much. I think he would tip the scales for exactly what we're looking for. Um, he's
It's
too
like that, but just
wild.
more subtle.
Yeah, tone
Like
down.
just a little,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
like maybe the a quip or something, a little one liner that comes in, and you're just like, this guy gets it.
yeah. Um, yeah, and like the darker humor too, I think is specific there. It's not always just like light and fun and airy. It's yeah to have that um little bit of edge to them, I guess. I think it would also be important for our specific project. Um, a I tend to enjoy the anti-hero type, the Deadpool where they're doing kind of bad things but you're still rooting for them because you're like, I know you're good, but like you're just
Tell
kind
me
of
you're good. Just show me. I know it's in there.
you're just kind of misguided at the moment. um those characters I think really strike out to me. um Again, the growth that allows you when you have this character that is just kind of like doing bad things for whatever reason, or like historically um, bad things, morally wrong things, however you want to define that. Um, you have that growth to be like, oh yeah, this is maybe not right. Maybe I can start taking steps towards getting
Maybe I'm the problem. It's me.
yeah. Um, those characters I really really enjoy hanging out with, as it would be.
This might be a little cliche. I don't know
Mm,
if you're a fan of this, but the rough, tough guy with the heart of gold doesn't even have to be a guy. It could be a girl, whatever.
yeah,
But just a person that's like a goddamn porcupine.
yeah,
But then something happens, and then it's like a subtle nod of approval
yeah,
or like something like that. Or
yeah.
maybe there's a past and the reason why they're like that, and then you flash back to like, oh, they were once like happy go lucky and this happened and now they're just like,
Yeah.
I was I was gonna say rock hard, but that's not what I'm going with.
different thing. Yeah, no, I really enjoy the character. Like I'm the worst about this because I kind of feel like I'm like nice to a fault. But those kinds of characters, to kind of spin off of what you said, the characters that are just like way too nice. You're like, this isn't a normal amount of nice. There is something weird going on here. Um, and then to either prove it or disprove it later on. I really enjoy that, and yeah,
Yeah.
the character that is like perceived as just this big bruiser, that's what they're here to do is just mess everything up, fighting wise. Um, but then you get like you can sit down, your characters sit down and have a conversation with them or whatever, and like they are out here doing this because they have to. They want to like own a rabbit farm, but it's like this is what pays the bills, so this is what they
Yeah,
keep
we're in
doing.
time of war, so I
Yeah,
can't tend to my crops. I gotta just oops all murder.
yeah, yeah. That and like the internal struggle with that again is leaves a lot of writing capabilities, a lot of good place to expand upon what they have going on. Um, the dichotomy there between what they have to do and what they want to be doing is a very very fun space to exist in.
Not another one I really enjoy too, and maybe this is my leading a little bit in my own insecurities, but
Mhm.
like the characters that just like mess everything up all the time and then like rise to the occasion. They're like, oh, they're just gonna mess it all up, ba 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 ba, and then they like come through and it's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, those are fun. The again to clutch up in a opportune moment is a fun writing thing. Um, but yeah, those that like you can't help but just be like, come on, man, just do it right
yeah.
this one time. Like I know you got it in you.
And then the twist is they don't. They drop
They
the
never,
ball,
yeah,
it fails, and
yeah,
never again.
yeah.
Yep.
Every time they're on screen, it's like, oof, sorry, buddy. I want better for
here,
you, but
here
that's
comes
just
this
what it
guy.
is.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing that for me, and this is not necessarily like a character type, but it is kind of a story beat that I really, really enjoy spinning off of the nice guy is the um, enemy that was your friend the whole time. Um,
Yes.
the, what is it, A Way Out? The prison game?
Oh, I guess I never played that one.
Well, spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, take your headset off, I guess.
You just talk to the camera. It's like
But like the main two, I think it's A Way Out. It's just a two-player game where
Mhm.
you are breaking out of prison. I think it's A Way Out. Um, but the you break out, you do this whole long story. You break your friend out of jail, or your friend breaks you out of jail. However, you want to look at it. You're two dudes in jail. You break out together. Been friends for a while, whatever. Um, and you go through this whole story, and then like right at the end, one of them turns out to be a fed, and then
oh
they like
no.
yeah they have like a shootout, and that's how the game ends. But that like to grow and experience this journey with someone, all the highs and lows of like making your escape plan in prison, doing all the stuff, whatever, and then to yeah end up having to have a shootout with them at the end, and like what was it like? Was it all allowed? Type thing, like to escape from prison, was it all just like, well, they're gonna break out because Fed Boy's got to get his Fed Boy thing? Um, I don't know, but
That
that
always tugs at
character, yeah,
my heartstrings, and I really like that. I feel like there's too many this guy's evil, but now plot armor he's good for some reason,
yeah,
and not enough like, oh, this is my homie, and then all of a sudden, oops, no he wasn't.
yeah. Unplot armor, he was never your friend. Yeah, I really enjoy those kinds of things, 'cause that makes it even harder, especially if it's like a final boss thing. Like, you don't want to do those things, but like if that's just you've been a bad guy this whole time and now we have to fight, that's what it is.
Yeah, I would like to create with this project, I would like to, whatever that looks like, have some of that emotion.
Yeah,
Um, Again, first time writing a story, so don't know how it's gonna work out, but
yeah.
I'd love to have those things that's just like chill, 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 and then the episode plays and your fiance hears you screaming in the background, like, oh my god! And she's like, what? And you're like, this show, this thing happened, and they're like, I don't know what any of that means, but cool.
Yeah,
That's the reaction I want to get out of this.
yeah, I really hope that we can impart any amount of that into this. Um, but yeah, it's there are so many options for characters, and like any kind of mutations of the things we've already discussed, um, mutated together. Um, and that's not even scratching the surface of the kinds of characters that there are.
So many. There's
Yeah,
infinite.
yeah. Um,
One thing I was reading, um, when I started getting ahead of myself,
yeah, as we do.
before the basics, as I often do. Yes, it was saying one thing about making a good character is being able to make them relatable,
Yeah,
and I think that's something that's kind of like when we start fleshing it out, it'll give me a chance to really think about. I said in there too that like no one's perfect, no one's One Punch Man, no one's
yeah,
whatever. So it's like adding all these like worst memories, how do they deal with grief, things like that, and applying it to like realistic scenarios and
mhm.
feelings.
Yeah. Like traumas, a thing that like I think comes with a very well written character is you don't have to wonder how they would handle a situation because you know how they would handle it. Like you're not like, I
You've
wonder how
seen it
this.
firsthand.
Yeah, I wonder how this character would handle a spider when it's like whatever their father died of a spider bite and they saw it, whatever. It's like, well, they're not gonna,
Smash.
yeah, they're not gonna do great with it. They're going to make an emotional reaction because that's one of their biggest traumas within their character. So yeah, I look forward to writing out the characters in that manner and like really finding out about them.
It's hard to, as we spitball and we kind of think of like archetypes, it's kind of hard to like envision a character because it's like, yeah, I feel like you can't just like slap it together. We got to sit down and be like, what kind of character do
Yeah,
we want? What types?
yeah,
And then be like, all right, roll the dice. This character is this.
yeah,
And
and
then
it's
kind of, then as you build it out, you're like, okay, this is a rough and tough dude with a bad past. And then
mhm,
it's, you kind of plug and play those different questions: biggest red flag, biggest green flag,
yeah,
um, who do they love the most, that kind of stuff.
yeah. And I feel like it's difficult because we're kind of refining ourselves to the three mains. They're going
Mhm.
to be the focus of the story. So to get a decent spread of personalities and stuff like that, I think it's going to take a lot of writing and rewriting to make sure that we get the right three kind of um, people together for this journey.
I'm excited to write, but one thing I never think about is how often we like, not we do, or more so we will, how often we're going to be like, all right, here's like 30 pages of this story, this thing,
Yeah,
and then tomorrow we like think about it and we're like, none of this works because of A. B works a lot better.
yeah,
Let's back to the drawing board and refleshing it out.
yeah. The talking about the story frameworks from a week or two ago, whichever episode that was. Um, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Um, like the snowflake method of like the final two steps is like rereading your whole story and making sure you plug all the plot holes and everything like that. I think that we are going to do a lot of what I think is step nine. I think we're going to do a
Yeah.
lot of step nine. We're going to reread it and be like, oh, nope, we need to go back here and input a couple things here, make sure that this all makes sense, cut this bit out, that doesn't make
JK,
sense.
LOL.
Yeah. And then come back to step nine, reread it, and be like, wow, now this is weird. Um, but yeah,
I also think that's the fun part too. Like, I'm sure it can be frustrating being like, we have all this stuff, now we have to go back, but I think that'll be half the fun to be like, all right, this didn't work. This time we got it though. What if we did this? And we might even see some stuff we didn't notice before.
yeah, and I think that you and I also would be bad judges because we will know the characters and the story beats and everything inside and out. So I think like we're going to have to probably outsource that to somebody who cares enough to read the thing. and actually intake it and see if there's plot holes, whatever, as like a beta test, if you will. But that's not us, because we could see a thing and a character could react a certain way, and we're like, oh yeah, they would react that way because of this.
Nailed it first try.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh no, never mind. They wouldn't react that way because of this other thing. Um, or
That's
that would
fair. I
seem
also
weird because we have perfect knowledge, and then we know how they are going to be in Act 3, so then they would act how they would be at the end of the thing in Act 1. So it's like, well, why did he do this thing here? I think that's going to be
yes.
yeah, I think we're going to have to outsource at least a little bit of the proofreading and stuff.
That could be you guys. If you're following us right now and you've day one, that could be you.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll have to put our significant others in like a sweatshop type environment and a Clockwork Orange them.
I think that's the only way I'm going to get mine to read this.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Whatever we gotta do to get it done. But yeah, I think that we've got a few ideas for characters floating around. Again, if you guys are interested in being proofreaders, let us know. We're still very far away from that step. But we're getting closer and closer every day and every week. Every time we get to meet up, we're taking baby steps towards that end product. And it's pen to paper here pretty soon, I think.
We're getting close. We talk about a lot of like little details, but it's only a matter of time before it's like, hey, write this down, and be like, all right, we got a character name, that's this. We got a world name, that's this. And then soon after that, there's a whole dang manga happening.
Yeah, because I like with the snowflake method, we just need to come together and write the one sentence description of what this is. And once we have that, we're done with step 1 already.
I'm excited for that episode. I'm excited to share that with them.
I think that would be a fun little series. Might be the final, well, not the final 10 episodes, because that would be a big thing to chew through for the last 10 episodes to 52. But that might be at some point sprinkled in of the steps that we're taking. But yeah, I think that unless you have anything else, Spencer,
I do not.
I think we're gonna call this one here. A kind of short one. This is more of a test video out, but we appreciate you guys hanging with us, and we hope to do more video here soon.
Let us know what you think. This is our second our second video, and our first one was so rough. So if you get to this point, you're listening, watching, and you've watched our first one, let us know the difference, how we did this time versus our last, what you guys think of the video portion of it. We want any feedback's good feedback.
Yeah, and if you want us to go back to straight audio, let us know. We're just trying to adapt and evolve, and then we have other stuff going on where we want to have video for. So I was just like, hey, let's try this out and see how it is. That way we don't have to leave the house. Love it, hate it. Let us know. Take that depression pod at gmail.com is our email address if you want to write us anything, a comment anywhere you can comment. We'd love to hear from you guys, better, worse, whatever changes, even if it's fine but this would make it better, let us know. We would love to hear from you guys. Anything else, Spencer?
I love you all.
We love you all. You heard it here first. And with that, I think we'll just sign off. As we always love to say, stay safe out there.
And don't get mugged.